Is this Stop the Steal 2.0? Folks on TikTok who participate and dabble in the astrology, witchcraft, medium community are having a complete meltdown because of the results of the recent election. And it oddly reminds me of the time in 2020 and 2021 where there was a lot of evangelical pastors and prophets who made prophecy. God told them that they were going to get a second term President Trump, and it didn't happen. Well, now that it's Trump winning, it's the folks on the left who are having a complete meltdown and basically saying the election was stolen and all their spirit guides are off. And it's good stuff. All
it's
right,
the liberal version of
Stop the Steal
of Trump prophecies.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Ain't that good? All right, let's jump in. So shout out to Breaking Points, and they covered this. This says lib TikTokers go full-blown Stop the Steal. Go ahead.
I'm sad about the election too. But what I'm especially sad about is the fact that I can no longer trust a single TikTok astrologer on this app. So thanks.
What I'm especially sad about is that I can't trust TikTok astrologer. Who's going to tell her?
Yeah.
I can't trust them anyways.
Yeah. You shouldn't trust TikTok astrologers.
Anything. TikTok anything.
Anything.
Really.
TikTok anything. TikTok medicine,
Yes.
TikTok nutrition, TikTok fitness.
TikTok finance.
TikTok finance. I wouldn't trust any of it. But watch the response from people in the astrology witchy community on TikTok and their response to her. Watch this.
I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but something feels off about this election. How did we raise over $1 billion in just 4 months? Packed rallies, and they won by...
Okay. Now, $1 billion is a crazy amount.
Yeah.
Not to mention that she's still $20 million in debt.
She raised a small loan of $1 billion
and still spent too much.
Yeah.
$450,000 of that daily was to run on the Sphere outside of Las Vegas. You know, the Sphere runs banners. $450,000 a day. $1 million went to Oprah's production company. Just outlandish spending.
So they probably turned on the Joe Rogan interview because it cost too much money.
No, they rebuilt the Call Her Daddy set, though.
Oh, my God.
Or Call Me Daddy for $100,000 because they didn't want to travel to her. They wanted to do it in D.C.
Oh, my goodness, bro.
Hemorrhaging, just hemorrhaging money.
Frivolous.
Yeah, so here's the punchline. Something is not off. Something is off that you can't just buy elections. Just because you raise more money doesn't mean you win.
Yeah, that's crazy that he assumes because they raised $1 billion that means they're going to win.
Right.
Talk to all of San Francisco startups.
They approached it like a venture capital fund.
Yeah. Like we raised money. Why did we all go under?
Yeah, they needed. Shout out to Amanda. He said they needed Dave Ramsey budget.
Yeah, for real.
$1 billion in just 4 months.
I just
Packed
told you
rallies,
they
won by a landslide in just a matter of hours. Also, why is he not on Twitter boasting and bragging about himself? When she had her concession speech, it felt like we weren't done yet. Like, we still have some fight, but we're going to fight silently.
And this is exactly what happened in the last situation where there were people I knew that got sucked into the Q stuff that were like, they're going to rise up, military going to rise up. He going to take back the office by March. Then it was by April. Then it was by August. Oh, no. Yeah, bro.
Imagine how awful that would be for America. Like, I know the Republicans were like really loved Trump at the time, but like, you know how bad that would be for America?
It'd be terrible.
Her walk-off, I know that walk-off.
I know that walk-off, he says. For far too long, the bar for Christians has been set low. More Christians are skipping church, watching online, too busy for group, and not serving in their local church communities. They go about their lives not feeling connected to Jesus, and in turn, their salvation goes unnoticed by their unsaved peers. They've become indistinguishable from the world around them. We need to shift from asking, what is the bare minimum I can do for Christ, and start asking, what would it look like to live a life entirely devoted to Him? 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 12 describes a life that seems to have been forgotten. Live such good lives among the pagans that though they accuse you of doing wrong, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day He visits us. So join me and my favorite pastors, podcasters, and performers March 27th through 29th at the Bless God Summit in Southern California, and discover your personal ministry, calling, and purpose when living in complete devotion to Jesus.
Back to almost every witch, every astrologer, every medium, every psychic on this app is sort of coming together right now because of this presidential election is incredible. Because by now we all know that almost everyone who's intuitively connected in any way woke up between 2 and 4 a.m. morning after the election, and we all knew something was up. But
okay. First of all,
that's because you went to bed and it was a landslide before you fell asleep.
Well, if they're on the East Coast, they didn't know because he didn't come out to give it consent. So if they're on the East Coast, it actually doesn't work that way. We found out early because it was only like 11 o'clock when they called it in California.
Yeah.
Only God knows the future. So if you're claiming to hear from other sources, your sources are wrong. They're false. Demons don't know the future. Satan don't know the future. Witches can't tell you the future. Astrology can't tell you the future. Only God knows the future.
Yep.
Because he's outside of time. So you need to check your sources.
Between 2 and 4 a.m. morning after the election, and we all knew something was up. But at the same time, we all felt sort of peace and calmness within.
Here's the thing. The astrology girlies have not let us down all year.
Yes, they have.
Y'all...
Yes, they have. Yes.
What else
astrology,
have they been accurate
nothing.
on?
It doesn't matter. So this beautifully ties into something that Joe Rogan said about Elon that we're going to get to.
Okay.
That's chef's kiss. The way this is all glued together, chef's kiss. Go ahead.
Accept these results. While y'all accept what's on the screen right here, I will not be counting my chickens before they hatch.
So that's happening.
Wow.
Ain't that good?
Before we get to that, because the Joe Rogan ties into the next clip, but we have another. This is the big like lib stop the steal conspiracy, which is this one woman who said she works in tech, and her dad called her, and she lays out in a 9-minute video that went super viral why she believes that Elon used Starlink to change the results in key states. Right. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I listened to this video and I really did not understand.
I just want you guys to know, all you guys that thought it was rigged in 2020, this is how you sound. This is how you sounded in 2020. 100%. You sounded just like this. Yeah. I just want you guys to know that.
At all. But let's take a listen to a little bit of that 9-minute video so you can get a sense of it.
With that being said, he sent me a video letting me know that California and other swing states were able to use Starlink in order to tally up and to count ballot votes or voting ballots in their state. Ballot votes. Those systems.
Pause it. This is exactly why the Dominion voting machines sued Fox News and won $1 billion.
This TikToker is about to get sued.
No, because this made it. At least this is on TikTok.
Yeah.
When this happened on the right, this made it all the way up to Fox News,
mainstream media,
the biggest lawsuit, and lost. Right. Thanks. So let's not act like let's not throw stones from a glass house. Those of you guys that thought 2020 was stolen, these people are just as deluded as a lot of folks on the right were. Now, she's delusional if she thinks California was a swing state.
Did she say that?
Just pull it back.
That California and other swing states were able to use Starlink in order to tally up and to count ballot votes or voting ballots in their state. Okay, those systems were connected to the internet. Those machines have absolutely no problem tallying up votes like they have done since the beginning of time.
But part of what this ties into is this Joe Rogan clip.
Yeah, that's right.
Because if your theory is Elon was actually using Starlink to control the election results, then you hear this Joe Rogan clip and it really makes sense to you. Take a listen.
It was interesting because at the beginning of the night, no one knew what was going to happen. So you're watching the first results roll in, and there's like this weird thing. And then Trump gets way ahead, but you're like, you don't want to like get too hopeful. Like, how far ahead is he? He's ahead by 100 points. That seems like a lot.
Yeah, and you're like, what is it? And some channels are like, and then every channel's kind of different.
Yeah, they had different numbers. I was getting a different number off my Apple News update than I was getting off of CNN. And then I was texting people like Tulsi and JD Vance. I was getting a different Apparently, Elon created an app and he knew who won 4 hours before the results.
Now, this wasn't that difficult.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is look at the counties in Pennsylvania that voted and just look at everywhere outside of Pittsburgh and Philadelphia and go, oh, yeah, there's probably more rural red counties and their votes weren't tallied yet. And so as soon as you started seeing reporting almost done in the cities, then anyone that knows the basic layout of Pennsylvania understood how that worked.
Yeah, it's also not unreasonable to believe that a multi-billionaire
has some analytics and access that we don't.
That oversees a rocket science company, has access to guys that can maybe put together some intricate analytic software pretty quickly and give them a quick little app that shows what the live count from the
This is what they're
counties are.
reporting from these counties. These counties tend to vote this way.
And then they program it to project a result, whereas there's no other software that does that right now.
And the media was hesitant to call it because they didn't want to call it. Like the folks on the left didn't want to call it. Right? So there's some apprehension there.
You never know. Maybe the farmers wanted Kamala.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So as the results were coming in, 4 hours before they called it, Dana White told me Elon was like, "I'm leaving. It's over. Donald won." He just fucking
good at.
He just somehow or another.
I'm gonna go back into my pod and evaporate.
I don't know what he's getting, where he's pulling his data from, but he had like the most accurate data in terms of the rural states hadn't put their results in yet, but yet Trump was ahead in these states. Kamala's never going to win those states, so tabulated that and like put it all together. I don't know how he did it. But Dana, I haven't even talked to Elon about this. I don't know like the Dana translation, but Dana said he had an app and he was like showing him. He's like, it's over. And he fucking left.
That's amazing. It's a story through a story of a guy, you know.
What you were talking about? Elon?
Yeah, I mean, Joe Rogan's repeating a story from Dana.
Yes.
Maybe Elon Musk didn't even have an app. Maybe he was just doing his own research.
No, there were people in multiple group texts that were like, "Oh, it's over." Before, because I was like, "Be cautious, be cautious.
Don't get your hopes up.
Don't get your hopes up." And there were folks that were like, that can look at the maps and be like, "Okay, if he got Georgia and North Carolina." And they were getting the Senate.
Yeah.
And then you could just look at Pennsylvania and say, okay, cool, 60% reporting, but it's all the red counties that got to report. You can call it fairly easily.
Yeah. And it seemed like, I feel like Joe Rogan did a pretty good job at explaining it.
Yeah.
Of the whole rule bit.
But it's interesting how people will take different pieces of information and create these crazy theories.
He's using Starlink.
He's using Starlink.
To direct to his phone and
to then come up with these, crazy situations. And this just goes to show how much alternative media, as well as like a skepticism in all institutions, has gotten the American people, not left or right, the American people. Everybody is now there. Because the same thing happened with the attempt on his life.
Yeah.
There was people that came out and said he set it up, he did it himself. You know what I mean? And it's like, that dude loves himself way too much to put himself in harm's way like that. Like, there's no way that was staged.
He'll do the trash truck thing. He'll do the McDonald's bit.
He's not putting himself near a bullet. Near a bullet on his head.
That was just a happy coincidence.
Come on. So interesting. I just wanted to point that out. And the witchcraft are, like, the witches are mad.
They're like, wait, I'm wrong about this?
And they're expecting it to be turned around. They're going to have their own. What if they have their own?
That would be.
What if they did that?
That would be dark. We would need to send Kat Von D out there to kind of turn them around. She's like, guys, head home.
Yeah.
It's not true. Like, Kat, you rejected us.
Yep. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.